Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today is day 23 of 30 days commitment to embodiment journey. Today I'm sharing, it's a practice-ish, but sure, it's a practice, okay? It's something you can do. So today's practice is be your own bestie, okay? Now, maybe you have a bestie, maybe you don't. If you don't, imagine how you would like this relationship to be, right? This is your best friend, like your twin, right? If you already do have a best friend, then you know what it is, okay? Now, when you have a best friend, technically, because you're not just friend, you're best friend, and beyond best friend, your bestie, that's like, once you get that nickname, it changes levels, right? So that means you're like this. Like this, okay? Whenever people see one of you, they're like, where's the other one? Because y'all go together like that, right? Like best friend. And so being your own best friend would be the same as how you're best friending your bestie. Does that make sense? Okay, let me explain. Okay, so let me take me and my bestie for an example. When my best friend tells me things, and in the things that she's saying, she's speaking negatively about herself or speaking down on herself or down on her dreams or on her projects or, just sharing information in regards to her and her life or different things within her life in a unpleasant way. I put my bestie hat on, okay, and I'm like, stop right now, okay? You are not going to talk about my bestie like that. Like, excuse me, do you want to fight? Okay? Like, whatever spirit full of poisonous, toxic energy is upon you, be removed, okay? Like, be removed instantly because no, you shall not talk about my best friend like that or anything in her life with that energy, okay? Because I love her, I support her, I'm here to uplift her, I'm here to be an ear when she needs, because of course, it's not all the time that somebody, let's say your bestie is opening up to you about something, maybe they're going through some emotions, they're not necessarily doing it expecting you to react, to give advice, to tell her like, well, change your energy, no, sometimes when we want to open up about certain things and maybe the space within us from where we're speaking may not be in a high vibe, it doesn't mean that we're looking for a remedy, right? Sometimes that is the remedy. It's just saying the words or letting it out. If you need to cry, sometimes you need to vent, sometimes you just want to scream, you're not looking for somebody to come and tell, shake you back into like being in a different energy. So of course, use your common sense. It's intuitive, and when you know your bestie, you know what to do, right? When to act, when to do something about it, and when to just be the open arms and the chest upon which she can lay her head and, get a good cry out. So of course, use your intuition and common sense. But there are some times when you gotta say something and be like, hey, oh, you're not talking about my bestie like that. Stop, okay? Because you're gonna uplift your friend. You wanna see your friend, joyful, happy, feeling good, right? So the same way that we're going to be there for our bestie, if our bestie is like going through something hard, or even in the opposite, when it's time to celebrate them because they accomplished something, or, just celebrating them for existing, for being themselves and for being in your life, we don't always need a reason to celebrate something, like just the fact that we exist, that we're here, that we have this friendship, this love, this connection, that is worth celebrating. So even then, it's like we're pouring a lot of energy, right, into each other. So whether it's for the pleasant or the unpleasant, We are there for our bestie, period, point blank. That's just what it is, okay? And anything in between, we are right there the same way that they're right there for us. So when sometimes if I'm speaking, you know, in a way that my bestie's like, I don't recognize this. Who are you? And where's Caroline? Remove yourself. Caroline, reveal yourself, okay? Like she'll do the same for me, right? But all this to say that when you experience that with somebody else, it's quite an amazing thing. You know, if you have the blessing of finding a bestie and a real one, a true one. But that same energy that you're putting into this friendship, this best friendship, is an energy that I invite you to have for yourself. Okay, so be your own bestie, especially in a journey of embodying a new version of yourself. You're gonna most likely face a lot of things, okay, that were lurking or that were hiding under the rug in your spirit. They're gonna come out, and you know, might scare you, okay? And you might find yourself having these thoughts or having an inner dialogue that is not in alignment with the new embodied version of yourself. And it might stem from different things. That's neither here nor there, but just the fact that we're aware of, okay, I am entertaining negative type energy right now in my mind, in my spirit, in the way that I talk, in the way that I am, that I act, etc. So once we're aware of that, how can we be our own bestie? Because maybe not all the time. Well, first of all, you may not have a bestie. Some people don't have close friends like that, or family members or people in their entourage that they feel safe to completely open themselves up to and be very vulnerable, you know. So one, you may not have that type of person in your life. Two, you may have that type of person in your life, but what if they're unavailable at a moment where you feel like, shit, I need my bestie right now. Like I need someone, that's specific someone to speak life into me right now. What if, you know, she's on a plane, she's going somewhere and she literally cannot pick up the phone? Or, you know, she's at work and she, you know, if she's a neurosurgeon, she can't just stop and be like, yo, tell the patient to wait, I'll be back, I gotta go talk to my bestie. No, like sometimes it happens where our person in that way, you know, our bestie is unavailable, okay? And so what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna be like, well, so-and-so is unavailable, so I'm just gonna stay here in my bad vibes and just talk bad about myself and not, you know, speak life into my dreams and projects and speak life into my fears, speak life into my disappointment, speak life into deception, speak life into my anger, into my rage, into the need to have revenge, you know, or whatever the fuck it is. You're not gonna do that. Well, I mean, shit, you could if you want to, but ideally you don't, right? You have to be able to be your own bestie and notice when this happens, how can I be like, yo, girl, hold on, okay? First of all, what do you need right now, bestie? And this is talking to you, right? Like, bestie, what do you need right now? Do you need space to live this emotion, to just allow this emotion to express itself and to just come out, you know? Is that what it is? Like when you need to go to the bathroom, and number two, like, do you just need to let something go? And it's just, no matter what happens, we're not trying to alchemize this. We're just trying to let it go. Is this what you need right now? Because if this is what you need, let me offer you the proper container for you to express what you got to express, for you to release what you got to release. And then after that, we're going to, you know, pick it back up. So do you need that? Or do you need me to speak life into you? Because maybe you're having a moment where all you need is a little like, hey, stop it. Girl, you must have forgotten who you are. Let me remind you who you are. You know, maybe you need that inner bestie for yourself, where you catch yourself in that moment and you can put a stop to whatever, you know, spiraling is going on, and just remind yourself like, hey, this ain't you no more, okay? That version of yourself does not live in this body anymore. All right, we packed her bags, put them to the left, okay? She gone. This is new you, boo, okay? So let me remind you. So when you speak, let's say, for example, oh, you're talking about, oh, I can't become, I don't know, like my best friend now, she's interior designer. She's in school for that. Well, she's almost finished. But, oh, you're saying you can't go back to school because you dropped out of college 15, 20 years ago. So if you didn't make it then, like, what would you make it now? Excuse me? Who you were 15, 20 years ago is not the same woman standing right in front of me, looking at me in the mirror. Okay, it's two different human beings, same body, same look per se, but completely different human, different spirit, different level of consciousness. We are not the same woman we were 20 years ago. And plus, matter of fact, 20 years ago when you studied in college in administration, your heart was not in it. Your heart was not in it. You just did it because you had to go to college and you thought, well, shit, I don't know what I want to study, so I'm going to just take this program. It's the easiest one for me to get into and just, I'll figure it out from there. But then you realize you fucking hated it. You didn't connect with it, not in one way, shape, or form. And so you let it go. And now what? You're going to allow that moment from way back when, from a version you were 15, 20 years ago, still haunt you to this day and tell you you can't go to school, you can't go into interior design, when you know you are an interior designer. When we look at your home, we see all the work that you do, everything that you change, your visions, your creativity, your artistry. Everybody knows this is who you are. This is you. And you're going to look at me in my face and tell me you can't go to school for it so you can master your skills, so you can work on your craft, and so you can, go out there and make a career out of it and be the best, most extraordinary interior designer this planet has ever seen. Girl, stop. Do you see what I mean? That type of conversation you got to have with yourself. Okay, as your own bestie. So it comes from a place of love, a place of deep care. Like, I care for you so goddamn much. Okay, I care for you so goddamn much. I gotta give you this talk. You gotta be able to have that with yourself the same way you would for your bestie in real life, or if you don't have a bestie, like the way that you would want to experience it with a bestie. Okay, like if you think like, who's my like right hand woman or right hand man? Your bestie could be a man or woman, whatever. How would I be present for them in a moment like this? If, let's say, they're talking bad about themselves, or they're staying stuck on their limiting beliefs, or I see that they're starting to self-sabotage because it's the old shit from way back when, from a version of them. Like, like how we have those updates on the computer or on the phone. And it's like now, I don't know, we're at version 17.2 of, iPhone, whatever. And it's like, you're telling me version 17.2 can't upgrade to version 18.5 because you're still stuck on version, 5 from way, way, way back then. And it's like you've just forced yourself through all these years to upgrade to this version that you are now. But now that you're ready to move into a much different space in your mind, in your being, you're ready to make this big move. And you're telling me you're going to stop yourself because of a version of you from like 20 years ago? No, we are not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing it. Okay? So this is how you also have to speak to yourself. Okay? You have to be your own bestie. And if you're unsure, like, just sit down and take a moment, like, okay, if I never had a bestie or someone very close to me in that way, first imagine how you would like this relationship to be like the best, most awesomest version of it. If you have a hard time figuring it out, maybe watch a few movies or series with, that has, best friends. It's a best friends storyline. You see two best friends going through things together and all that jazz, and you see how they love on each other, how they're there for each other and all that. Maybe inspire yourself from that. Okay. But find it within yourself to be your own best friend. Why? Because number one, like I said earlier, your best friend might not always be available. Anything can happen to your best friend too. I mean, at some point we all go into the great beyond, right? We all transition out of here. We don't know when our time is going to come. So today your bestie could be here, but tomorrow it could be gone. and not necessarily, into the afterworld, but afterlife, I mean, could also mean like, oh, well, what if she moves away, very far away in a much different time zone, where now it's like when you call her at 2 p.m. here, it's actually like, I don't know, 3 a.m. for her. She can't necessarily answer the phone. Okay, right? So not only that, but you might not have a bestie. Okay, so there's that. So because we can't necessarily depend all the time on things outside of us to fulfill some needs that we have, that when they happen, it's like, well, if it's unavailable, you got to know that you have yourself. You got to know that, beyond being bestie with so-and-so, I am my number one bestie. I am the first. I'm the first. Why? Because I came here with me and I'm leaving here with me. Okay? I arrived on this planet with myself. I'm going to leave this planet with myself. I am the one constant in my whole life. That's for damn sure. Everything around me can change. Even this body will change. Your body changes all the time, right? It's never the same body, okay? But the consciousness that lives within this body that governs, Lord, the consciousness that governs, I don't know if I'm saying it right, this body is essentially the same. The essence of it is the same because we change, right? Also, when it comes to levels of consciousness, you're not exactly who you were when you were a kid. The version of you that you were at 5 years old is not the same when you were 15. It's not the same from the version of you when you were 25, when you were 40, when you were 55. Like, there are always these tweaks, but the essence of who you are is the same. The I am. Beyond the I am, the I. I'm going to talk about all that in other videos after we're done with the series, but all this to say, you are with you always. So validate yourself in that way. When you're going through tough times, you got to be able to be your first best friend and be like, yo, hold on. What do you need? What do you need? Let me hype you up, or let me offer you a space for you to experience your emotions. Or if it's a question of like celebrating you, then hey, I can celebrate myself first, and then you can call your best friend and do things and be, reach outside of yourself. But first, you got to be able to do that with yourself. You got to be your own bestie. You got to be your own bestie. On my Dr. Umar, let me say it 3 times. You got to be your own bestie. Be your own bestie first. Be there for yourself. Ask yourself the questions. What do I need? Be there for you as if you're caring for a child. As if you're caring for somebody else. Like, oh, you're crying. What's going on? Talk to me. What do you need? And then from there, okay, well, let me make make moves to give you what you need so that you feel better. Or if it's on the flip side, if it's to celebrate you, if it's something good, if we just want to give you like a, yo, you go girl, if you need that, then I can also do that for you. I can be my own best friend first before I reach out and, go out there. Because if you're going through some tough shit, like I said, and your best friend is not available, we're not going to just sit in that energy. No, we're not. We're going to uplift ourselves out of there. Okay. We're going to give ourselves what we need, whatever inner medicine that we need, and then take ourselves back to a better space, a better mental space, a better inner space. Okay, we got to be able to do that for ourselves first. And of course, like I said, if you got to celebrate you, then you also can do that for yourself first. Okay, be your own bestie. Talk life into yourself. Pour life into yourself. Okay, and when you need that little tweak, then go ahead and give yourself that tweak, because nobody can speak to you the way that you can speak to you, because only you know what's really going on deep down in your heart, in your mind. Even though you can share some stuff with some people, I'm pretty sure there's some stuff you keep in, that secret garden within you. So you know exactly what it is that you need to tell yourself so that you can, shift your energy accordingly and come back into the embodiment of who you desire to be. Okay? So you got to be able to do that for yourself. And if you do have a bestie who can also do that for you, then that's amazing. You are blessed. Okay? Count your blessings and give thanks for that bestie. All right? So that's pretty much what it is for today. If you try it, let me know how it goes. I'm very curious to know, how this experience is going to go for you. And as well, if you're on this journey, let me know how it's going for you in regards to that as a whole. And yeah, so that'll be it for today. And of course, if this video resonated with you, if this is your vibe, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry, the dog is here. And Chocho and I, we will see you tomorrow for day 24. And on that note, I hope you have an amazing day. Okay, go ahead and be your own bestie, y'all. And this dog, Lord have mercy. Bye.